Hey everybody, how are you? Hope that everyone is doing well. I am doing absolutely amazing. I am really enjoying myself this evening. I wanted to share with you all what came to me when I was working out this morning. I was listening to one of my teachers and one of my new teachers, I should say, and he was talking more from just the things that we hold on to in a different aspect. But what actually came to me was how we hold on to identities. Like we hold on to the images that we create and how that can be a hindrance to you growing, to you evolving, to you coming out of depression, to you coming out of sadness. Because we can want to be happy, we could want to come out of this repressed state, but sometimes that requires, and probably most times, that requires me having to detach myself from the person that I have created, the identity that I have created, the identity that I actually think defines me, right? And I know we probably don't think about it from that place, but ego is a lot, right? And ego wants to hold on. Ego wants to keep us trapped. Ego wants us to stay stagnant. Ego wants us to stay depressed. Ego wants us to stay repressed. And so as he was talking, my mind just started really flowing with identity issues, like identity. And we don't even understand that we can't move forward because we're so busy looking back to what was and how it was and what I'm attached to. And I don't really want to detach from it. But what if your growth, you're coming out of depression, you're coming out of being sad, required you to let go of what you feel or you believe identifies you? Because maybe that is what has entrapped you or ensnared you. I know making a decision to heal in the way that I've made this choice, I've had to let go a lot. Beliefs about myself, thoughts, things I felt I needed and that was so important. And as I started detaching, right? And I stopped allowing ego to rule me, I found that a lot of that stuff was frivolous. It was so not needed at the end of the day. And we can unknowingly spend so much time creating this image and creating this persona that's actually in the end is suffocating us. It's really taking life from us. And we love it so much, we don't want to let it go. We are in a relationship with it. And anything that comes along that will remotely touch that or say you shouldn't be that anymore, we grasp onto it even tighter. But I have to ask you, what do you want, right? Do we want to continue to identify with personas and masks and identities that is literally taking life from us? I was listening to another teacher, and I'm paraphrasing his statement, but one of the things that he said, there is nothing to let go when there is nothing to lose. And we can unconsciously or indirectly believe that we're going to lose something in detaching from certain things or letting that part of us go, and no need to hold on to that. But yet we want happiness. We want prosperity. We want all of these things, but there is no room for it. And so in order for things to come, inwardly, we have to make room for that, right? You can't put new wine into old bottles. They will burst. And so we can't evolve and grow and move beyond where we are if we're not willing to detach. We love looking back, right? Because that's familiar. I know that. But we are afraid of the unknown, right? And why are we afraid of the unknown? Because we're not familiar. It's nothing familiar. But I have learned, and I teach this to my clients, that when you find yourself stuck, when you find yourself depressed, when you find yourself, not knowing which way to go, you're actually in a beautiful space. Because in the unknown, it's a blank canvas. And you get to paint and create whatever you want, right? It is your pathway to create for yourself. And so you get to create happiness. You get to create prosperity. You get to create all of these things, and move beyond the things that are actually keeping you bound and holding you hostage. We like to look back because maybe somewhere in us, we're in agreement with being held hostage. We're in agreement with living back there. And we struggle because we're actually trying to bring that with us moving forward. And the reality is that you have to release that. You have to release those bags. Like, you can't bring that baggage with you. You can shed the baggage, right? But you can't bring it with you. Because if you do, you're going to find yourself repeating the same thing. And then that question arises, man, I've been here before. So identity is so influential in how you grow and how you evolve and how you heal. We don't want to release it because we feel justified in the anger. We feel justified in the pain. We feel justified in being depressed, right? Because I was wronged, or I was this, or I was that. But you have to want to heal, or you have to want to grow greater than being stuck or feeling the way that you're feeling. One of the ways that we start to move beyond certain identity issues and identity crisis, because we identify with being sad, we identify that's an identity, unhappiness, that's an identity, but one of the ways that we start to break up this monotony is that when you wake up in the morning, what is the first thing you do? Do you grab your phone, jump on social media? Well, maybe you shouldn't. Maybe you should not touch your phone for the first 30 minutes and listen to a motivational message. Maybe you should find a book that you read for the first 30 minutes when you wake up in the morning. Like, what are you doing to change your emotional DNA? What are you doing to change your mental DNA? The past actually should be a gift to us to create the future that we want from a kind place. So I just wanted to get on here and share with you about identity issues, identity crisis, and just drop a few little nuggets about why we are challenged in that. If we don't see it clearly, then we won't begin to see ourselves clearly. You really have to not want to relive your past and shed the past, shed that old skin, shed all of the things that no longer serve you, shed, the identities that you think define you. I had to go through it and voila, here I am. I woke up one morning and just cut off my hair, but it was, I had to do something different. And I'm not telling anybody they need to go cut off their hair. I'm just saying, when I really started doing my soul work, my shadow work, I had to really start looking at myself and really get real with what I think identifies me, what I think defines me. And I'm telling you, it is one of the greatest things that I could have ever done, because I walk in freedom. I feel freedom. I talk in freedom. You know, I have certain friends, you know, when they start talking about certain things, I'm like, no, we're not doing that. This is what it is. What do you want? Set your intentions. What do you want to see happen? Ask for it. You know, like, I'm really like in that space. And I can tell you, when I had all that other stuff on me, I probably was doing it, but not at the level that I'm doing it now. Right? I think I was doing it back then from a lot of spaces, just from being robotic. Oh, that's the correct thing to say. That's the right thing to say, you know, but I feel it in every part of my cells, you know, and it's, there is no performing. Like, it's just natural. It's just here, and I'm present to it, and I know that I'm worthy of it. I know that I am grateful for it, and I know that I deserve it. Right? And that's not from an arrogant place, but I know that I deserve to be happy. I know that I deserve to be free. And so we have to just be willing to think about what our identity issues are, our identity crisis. What are we having, an identity crisis? And what do I need to do to shed that? Like, what do I need to do to let that go? So again, I am Alexis Cole. Thank you for sharing space and time with me. And until next time, talk to you later. Bye-bye.